Chris Wallace here, advisor to men. We're back with another edition of Defender News for men who think. This week we're going to talk about You Are the Prize. While it's understandable, it leads nowhere. You see, every era produces voices that promise men a shortcut to confidence. Today, one of the loudest messages tells men that they are the prize. It sounds empowering, especially after years of cultural narrative that portrayed men as unnecessary, incompetent, or dangerous. When a man has absorbed enough criticism, any statement that seems to restore worth feels like oxygen. I understand why it spreads. I lived through the same era as you. The idea that men are the prize does not lead to maturity, stability, or meaningful partnerships. The danger is that it leads towards isolation, wrapped in ego, by replacing one form of dependence with another. Instead of seeking approval from women, he may look for and demand admiration from the world at large. Even if done on the sly, his center of gravity remains external. I operate from a different premise. I say every human being is chosen for life by heavens of infinite wisdom, not chosen for applause or status, chosen for this existence. We are all chosen ones. It's true that some people are deeply damaged, and a minority of those create harm wherever they go. Yet most of us represent nature functioning exactly as designed, perfectly imperfect and capable of growth at the same time. Under these blue skies, a man's responsibility is not to prove he outranks everybody else. His responsibility is to use his time and effort wisely in developing whatever talents he was given. He is tasked with turning those talents into strengths, then use those strengths to make a positive difference around him, big or small, whether that circle is a family, a workplace, or a community. That's how meaning forms. Not through admiration, but through contribution. The prize idea reduces this entire process into a static identity. A prize sits on a shelf. A prize is displayed. A prize is evaluated. None of that describes a functioning adult male. Men are not ornamental objects. Men are agents. When a man adopts prize thinking, he shifts from building a life to curating an image. His attention turns inward towards how he appears to others rather than outward towards what he produces. He remains classic give to get. This inward turn often develops in boys who grow up without strong male influences, when fathers disappear, when male mentorship fades, when rites of passage vanish. Boys reach adulthood with adult bodies and adolescent identities. They tend to carry a lingering need for approval, and it remains unresolved. Now, some will pedestalize women in an attempt to secure that maternal attention. Others flip the polarity and declare themselves superior. Both strategies orbit the same center. Both seek relief from an uncertain identity. Declaring that women bring little value to the table reflects a misunderstanding of human reality. Men and women evolved as cooperative species. We have always banded together to take advantage of each other's strengths and to shore up each other's weaknesses. There's nothing in it for nature to make us the same. With plenty of overlap, we are complementary beings. Pair bonding, shared labor, and joint child-rearing shaped our survival. Masculinity and femininity developed as harmonizing specializations under pressure, and not as competing brands in a marketplace. A healthy man tends towards stability, direction, and protection. A healthy woman tends towards attunement, bonding, and relational awareness. These traits interlock in interdependence rather than cancel each other. The prize is not the man, and the prize is not the woman. The prize is the bond that allows both to become more effective together than apart. From that bond grows family, continuity, and culture. Civilizations rest on millions of such partnerships functioning well enough to raise the next generation. Should a man have a minimum acceptance standard applied to the people in his life? Sure, absolutely. A man requires respect earned through deeds or taken with limits. It's just that when a man views relationships as status contests, they sabotage the very structure that gives their lives long-term meaning. Another problem with this prize thinking lies in its fragility. If your identity depends on being admired, Every rejection becomes a threat to your existence. Aging becomes terrifying. Competition becomes intolerable. You begin policing your environment for signs of disrespect because your worth depends on perception. A man rooted in competence and responsibility does not face this constant anxiety. He knows what he can do. He knows what he contributes. People are most loyal to those whom they respect. External validation becomes pleasant but unnecessary. Living at the highest level means giving. I don't mean being taken for granted or servitude. It means deploying strength in ways that improve your life and the lives of those around you. A man who can defend, deliver, and decide and remain steady during crisis carries value that no slogan can manufacture. People trust him because experience proves his reliability. Women respond to him because he creates conditions where life feels safer and more purposeful. Children thrive under his guidance because he provides structure and example. The world does not suffer from a shortage of men who want admiration. It suffers from a shortage of men willing to shoulder responsibility without applause. Power without love becomes tyranny. Love without power becomes sentimentality. While men of character use power and love in defense of meaning and freedom. When you live from this stance, life simplifies. Each day presents the same question: how can I use my abilities today to leave things better than I found them? Some days the answer involves work. Some days it involves patience. Some days it involves restraint. On other days it means magnanimously blessing those around us. Over time, the accumulation of such actions forms identity. Confidence emerges as a side effect of your actions rather than as a goal. Men who chase the title of prize often stall at this developmental stage because admiration feels easier than effort. Growth requires discomfort, feedback, and humility. It demands contact with other men who can challenge and hold you accountable. Historically, male institutions provided this environment. What were we thinking in allowing their dilution by integrating the opposite sex into our ranks and rituals? It's left many men navigating adulthood alone, learning about relationships from entertainers rather than mentors. A man who rebuilds himself through discipline, skill, and service does not need to announce his worth. His presence communicates it. He walks into a room and people sense direction. He speaks and people listen because his words carry experience. He forms partnerships based on mutual respect rather than leverage. He leaves behind tangible improvements in the lives of others. If you want a purpose that never expires, that's it. Develop your strengths. Use them well. Protect what matters. Support those entrusted to you. Pass on something of value to the next generation. This path only depends on your character. It worked before modern media existed, and it'll work long after today's personalities fade. A meaningful life grows from contribution, not from comparison. You do not need to place yourself above women or anyone else. You need to stand upright within yourself and carry your portion of the human project with competence and integrity. The two great forces that allowed Homo sapiens to encircle the globe are technological problem solving, hence power, and collaboration, hence love. The world needs powerful men of character who understand about defending meaning and freedom. Become that man and the question of who the prize is becomes irrelevant. You'll be too busy building a life that others are grateful to share. Stay powerful, true and free. You'll be interested to know I created a short course called Trigger Reset that shows you how to identify emotional reactions that run automatically and update them so they stop controlling your behavior. It's not endless therapy. It's a practical system you can apply immediately. If you want it, the link's in the description. Now back to our regular programming.